Hey guys, welcome back to Trader Die. So today we're gonna go through October 2nd to the 6th, and I'm just gonna again, back test the strategy that I have in mind. So what my strategy includes is trading on the 5-minute. I'm gonna be looking for number one, the trend, number two, a break in structure, followed by a pullback. That body has to be smaller than the breakout candle, and then also the wick to the breakout side has to be shorter than the previous candle. And as far as stop losses and take profits, I pretty much set them at around 36 ticks, which is $9, and the gain is 72 ticks, which is $18. So let's get into our session. So for me, sessions will usually start at 7 o'clock. So overall, we see trend going down. Price pushes down. We get a couple of consolidation candles here. We get a nice move up that breaks minor resistance here. In this case, we know that we're going down, so we should really make sure that we're looking for those pullbacks after a nice move down. And here it is. And so we'll take our first trade right here, and boom, take profit. This one could have definitely been moved farther, especially if you anticipate it moving more. A second entry could also be right here as well, as we did break out, broke the minor support, had a pullback, and then boom, push down. And what you'll notice too, right, the pullback candle, the wick is also shorter than this, and same thing over here too. And so trades were successful. So now going into 8:30, probably no news, which is why these candles are too big. And then by 9:35, price pushes all the way up. We get 3 bear candles, which is a pullback, but not in the criteria that we like. After that, we get this pullback right here, and it's a failed trade, and that's completely okay, right? Not only were the signs aligned with the pullback, but they're also aligned with the structure as well too, right? Because we broke structure here, made a new high, pulled back down, and this became a resistance here, right? Broke it once again, came back down. So by the time we get back to here, we're at like a resistance turn support, but that didn't exactly hold, right? So we come back down to our last resistance, and that actually holds for quite a bit. But in this sense, we're looking for buys. We're going to be continuously looking for buys because we are in a buy market now, especially after coming off of so much momentum. If we broke structure down here, I may actually consider sells, but it will be, really tough considering how much pressure we had to the buy side. So I'm going to get one more play over here, since we had our nice pullback candle and then push forward to make a new high. And on this play too, we could have definitely, oops, I don't know why that changed, but on this play too, we could have definitely moved our take profit to collect more pips, right? To at least the last resistance, or at least up to here if we expect to go that high. So now price pulls up some more, and then boom, we get into this candle, this pullback. This pullback isn't too great because the body of that candle, the pullback candle, is way too small. So now price pulls down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles, right? We break the minor support, price pulls back, but this body's too big. And then we get another nice pullback candle for the upside. Nothing. We do kind of break structure, but we're in an area where support has become resistance. So we wait that out. Boom. Price comes down and creates a new low. Price pulls back up. And we get a few more pullbacks within this, but they're not too good because the bodies of these candles are too small. And then the wicks right here are actually above the prior candle, and that's what we don't want. Same with right here, right? Wick is bigger than the prior candle. So now price pulls back up. We get another push down, breaking, minor support. I should have mentioned over here too, actually. Again, the wick on the pullback is taller than the prior candle, so we pretty much leave it alone. If we did take it, it would be an instant L. So now we have minor support over here and over here. Price does break it. We get a pullback, and then let's see how this trade would have played out. So for this trade, boom, take profit. And again, there was more room to actually move this trade to the low, right? And then we get into 3 o'clock. Price does another pullback after breaking the resistance, and then it pushes up. All right, so this play we wouldn't actually take, but because again, the wick is bigger than the prior candle. Yes, we did break minor resistance. However, wick is too big. So you push up again, break another minor resistance, and we get a pullback. And then boom. This one would probably hit TP as well too, so let's take a look. And it does. And that's another great trade. So now we come to 3:45 and we call it a day. We'll move into October 3rd next. So now October 3rd, 7 o'clock, we are pushing down, right? If we're looking at this point here, 5 o'clock, right here, 6:50, 7 o'clock, we break minor resistance and we just continue pushing down. So we'll be waiting for the pullback, right? Since we know that we're on our way down. This over here would be a decent trade. However, the wick is way too long on the pullback. It's longer than the prior candle. So we wait it out. So now price continues pushing down. It does a little consolidation over here. And then it pushes down once again. And we don't really get an opportunity after that, right? So price pushes up, back down, and then up when we break a resistance over here, minor. But then the pullback candle, the body's too small and the wicks are too long. So we wait it out. Price pushes up, and then we get the same instance over here too, where we're breaking resistances, but again the wick is way too long, so then we wait it out. Now price pushes down and it breaks a ton of minors here and here and here. So now what we got to do now is we have to wait for a pullback. So we get our first pullback right here, but now the body is in a really strange place, so we wait it out. We get another nice big push, we break the minor resistance, and then a pullback. So over here is where we're going to take our trade. I know this trade is actually extremely tight, and for this trade again, we could actually move our take profit lower because we're expecting it to at least refill the open of this green candle here. So we get that take profit and then we wait it out. Boom. Now price pulls back up. We get a pullback, but again the wick is way too long, so then we don't enter this trade for the buys. Not only that, but we're in sell pressure, so don't even think about taking those types of sells. So now price pushes down, we're into 1 o'clock, we get another pullback here, but we can't take this trade because again this wick is too long. It's longer than the prior candle, so we wait it out. Price pulls down and we get another nice pullback here, and so we're going to take that trade and see how we do, and then boom, take profit. Now 2 o'clock comes, 2:30, price continues moving down. We get a nice push up to minor resistance, and then price goes down, and then we have another pullback, but the body is too big relative to the other candle. Let me check actually how big this candle is, because the pullback candle, or the candle before the pullback, has to at least be $8. So 707 to 717, so that's $10 at least, so we're good. So now price comes down, pulls back, comes back down, and then we have another opportunity right here. So I would actually take this opportunity because I like to trade in the direction of the trend, right? If we're going down, I'm looking for sell opportunities. So over here, we actually lose, and that's completely okay. Losses are a part of the game. Now by this time, it's 3:30. Over here, we'd really have to use our discretion if we really want to take this trade, because around this time there's more volume in the market, and literally anything could happen. The last trade we took on the prior day was at 3:30, so I'd say this trade is fair, and 3:30 is probably going to be the cutoff time. So now let's move into October 4th. I'll move my stuff here, and we're gonna get to 7 o'clock. So now we're back to 7 o'clock, and we see that we're on our way up, right? By 7, we have a push down, but we haven't broken any clear resistances. So we push back up, we come back down, and we recognize that we're in an uptrend. Since we're able to recognize that, we're going to look for pullbacks that are in our favor. So on this end, this candle is extremely close to the height of this candle, and it's also higher, so we'll leave it alone. But let's also check the size of the body. So this is 37 to 49, so that's more than $8. But again, we still wouldn't take this trade. So price pushes up by 820. We get a nice pullback, but the body's too small, the wicks are too big. Price continues up, and then we get a massive pull down between 9 o'clock to 9:35. But we only break one piece of structure. So we wait for a pullback, and we don't get that. So price pulls back up again, and then we get a nice pullback at 9:45. By 9:45, we actually can't take this trade. By 9:45, we actually can't take this trade, and let's see the result. Boom. Buys and TPs hit. And again, on this trade, we could have collected more pips, right? Because again, we're gonna expect it to at least come up to here. So after that, price pulls down by 10 o'clock. We get a nice pullback up, and then we actually start to break minor support. We break minor support, but once we do that, the pullback is massive because we're still on the way up. We managed to just crack resistance over here, but then right when we do that, we get a nice pull down, and we don't break that support. So we have support levels here, and even down here. So price continues moving up, and then by 11:25, we get a nice pullback. But this wick is too long relative to this candle here, so we leave it alone. Price continues pushing up, and we have a nice pullback right here, and so we're going to take that trade. And then on this trade, we get stopped out, and that's perfectly fine, right? We have to really be wary about those trades where the pullback wick on the opposite end is longer than the previous candle, because price really likes to return to where it's been before. So this trade would have been stopped out, and again, like I always say, that's completely fine. So we continue through the session, and we look for more pullbacks for a buy opportunity. Right, we're at support here. Price pulls down. We kind of break minor, but not really, so we leave it as is. And then boom, we break minor, and we get a nice pullback here. But again, this wick is too long, so we don't even touch it. As we get into 2 o'clock, we build a support over here between 2 and 2:30. Price goes up, does a pullback, but again, this wick is too long. Pushes up again, pullback, wick is too long. And so we leave it as is. Okay. So now as we get into 3 o'clock, we again get another nice pullback, but this wick is too long, so we don't touch it. And then by 3:30, we're done. So now we move into the next day. This trade would have been a decent trade based on the candle structure setup. So if we did take it, we'd lose. But one thing to consider is the time. It's 3:45 and we're not trading at that time. So now let's move into the next day, October 5th. So now we're in October 5th, 7 o'clock. We realize that we're kind of in a range, a trading range, right? Where price used to be in the pre-session. So price pulls down and then pushes up, and we break minor resistance. We get a nice pullback, but no trade. Price pulls up again, a nice pullback, but again, no trade because this wick right here, way too long. Price pushes down, we break minor. We get a pullback, price pushes down again, we break these minors. Now, once you break the minors, after 8:45, price does pull back up into this empty area, but we can't break the minor resistance up here. So now, price pushes all the way down, and it looks like there's probably a news event here between 10 and 10:05. And so we leave the chart for a couple minutes, and then boom, we get a nice pullback right here, but this wick is too long, so we don't touch it at all. Now what happens is we have a nice little consolidation. Price breaks it, we get the pullback, and then take the trade. You take this trade and it's an instant loss, and that's completely fine. So once we do that, price pushes up again, we break the minor, we get another nice pullback. So what do? We take the trade. As we take the trade, it's a W, price pushes up, and we get another nice pullback. And what do? We take the trade. So we take the trade and it's a W, perfectly fine. Price pushes up into this empty area. We get a pullback, but this wick is too long, so we leave it be. Price pushes back down, and we are at like a structured area where resistance becomes support. So it bounces off there, pushes back down, and we break the minor support here. And it pulls back way past where it was. We get a nice pullback, and then this wick is too long, so we don't take the trade. So now getting into 2 o'clock, price pushes up, and we're breaking, minor resistance here and here. And so we take this trade. This pullback is great. And is this a loss? Let's see. It is hard to tell, but it is not a loss. It's a W. So we keep it and we hit take profit. We wait it out, and then we get to 245. At 245, again, we break minor resistance. We get this pullback, but the wick is too long, so we don't even touch it. As we continue into 330, price dies off and mini candles, and then we call October 5th a day. Now moving into October 6th. Wow, October 6th is crazy. So this would have been the Friday. So Friday by 7 o'clock, price is just still moving pretty slow. We have small candles, right? Like the body here is only, what is this? 14 to 16. That's $2. Candle here is 12 to 97. Oh, that's $15. Nice push down. Boom. We haven't broken any minors yet, So we're still relaxing. And then by 8:30, I'm sure there's news. Price pulls down, and then we get a nice pullback right here. If we do take this, we lose. So let's say we did take it. I'm completely okay with that. So we take it. Bad trade, and that's completely fine. So we wait again for another pullback for the downside, but we don't necessarily get that. We get it right here, but again, the wick is too long to even take it. Not only that, the structure that's building, so this resistance turns into a support, right? What happens is price, so we build another resistance here. Price breaks that resistance, we get the pullback, and then it pushes up. Now over here, we wouldn't take this trade because the wick is too long. If we did take it though, we definitely lose, and that's okay. That's completely okay. So now price continues pushing up into 11 o'clock. We get a pullback. You can't take it because the body's too big. Price continues pushing up. Here's another pullback. Can't take it because the wick is too big. Price pushes up even further. Then between 12 to 1, we can't break the minor resistance. We do get a pullback, but again, the body too big. So price pushes up again, and then by 3:20, 3:30, we get our first gold pullback. But how big is the body? 82 to 92, that's $10. Let's say we do take the trade. We end up taking profit by 2:15, because that's only 1 o'clock. So that's good. Then we have a second opportunity over here. Second trade, great. And then another opportunity right here. But how big is this candle? So 25. That's only $2. And how big is this body? 109 to 125. So that's a great trade too. We'll take that, and then we'll call it a day. So now, although we didn't catch the bulk of the move down here, we still had 3 great trades over there, and that's completely fine. So now let's tally everything up. We'll look at our auto break even as well as just no break even, and we'll see how they fare. So October 2nd. October 2nd, we have trade 1, W. Trade 2, W. Trade 3, oh, these are supposed to be 18. Trade 3, -9 because of loss. Trade 4, W. Trade 5, W. Sorry, trade 4. Oh, I didn't count that right. I'm just gonna move this down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trade 6, W. So now we're gonna go into the next day, October 3rd. So now for October 3rd, we have W, 18. Trade 2, W. Trade 3, loss. Now next day, 2 trades on the 4th. So trade 1, W. Trade 2, loss. And that's fine. Let's go to October 5th. October 5th. So trade 1, L. Trade 2, W. Trade 3, W. And then trade 4. We said that was a W, I believe. Yes, W. Didn't touch it. W. And then for Friday was like a good day, surprisingly, at the end of it. But on Friday, the first trade, L. Second trade, W, third trade, W, and then last trade also a W. So this would have been an amazing week, especially if you used minis. So with no auto break even, we would have gotten 1242 on the minis contracts if we use 3 contracts, or sorry, the micros. But if we use minis contracts, it would have been $4,000, and that is insane. So now if we look at auto break even now, we'll see there might be some differences, and maybe even more. So auto break even, let me actually put this into so now on auto break even, what do we get? We still get the dub here. We still get the dub on the second one. We still lose the third one. We still get the dub on the fourth one. We still get the dub the fifth one, and we still get the dub on the sixth one. For the third, same thing. We still get the dub on the first one. We still get the dub on the second one. We still get the dub, or no, L on the third. That's okay, like I always say. Now on the fourth, still get the dub. The first one, we lose the second one still. And then on the fifth is so tricky. Still -9, still get the dub, still get the dub. The third and then the fourth trade, still get the dub. Yeah, it looks like it would turn out to be just about the same. There's really no break evens that we're taking here. So we get the dub there. We get 0 for the second trade, right? Because it pulls up to here. And that should be 40. Because that is my tick break even. But 34, no. So this one would still be a loss. I lied. The second one, we'd get the dub. And the last one, we'd still get the dub. So overall, it would still be the same with auto break even. And that's beautiful. It's really beautiful. 74% win rate. And you really go wrong with that. You really can't. You really can't knock it. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. Thanks. Bye.